is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
It's a duel at high noon at Progressive Field. The good? Hometown hero Carlos Carrasco, the right-handed gunslinger from Venezuela, sporting a sub-2 ERA in July. The bad? Nationals desperado Steven Strasburg, the former top overall pick in the country, coming off his first loss of the season. The ugly? Opposing teams are hitting right around 200 against both pitchers. Runs should be at a premium in this old-fashioned showdown next on Sports Time Ohio. With apologies to Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, and Eli Wallach, the good, the bad, and the ugly right here today at Progressive Field. A beautiful day for baseball as the Indians try to make it a two-game sweep of the Washington Nationals. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Should be a tremendous pitching matchup this afternoon, but you take a look at what the Indians did last night, a game that certainly looked like they had no business of winning, but they pull it out. And Rick, since June the 1st, the Indians have walked it off 5 different times here at home.
Well, and it took everybody to participate last night. Tyler Naquin, the second pinch hit of the game. They only had 4 all year. He drives in a run, and then a wonderful sacrifice bunt there by Jimenez. The throw by Zimmerman gets down the line. A mistake by them, so now the Indians got to capitalize on it. They tie the game, and here comes another bunt, and they're going to do the wheel play on this situation. But watch what Rajay does. As the charge comes in from third base and the shortstop goes to third, there's an open area, and he gets enough of it, and you couldn't have thrown that ball out there any better. The job is done. It's a base hit, so it's bases loaded, nobody out. The chance for the Indians to win it. Francisco Lindor gets that base hit to right field. Davis has got to touch second base. He did. The Indians win it, walk-off fashion, and boy, you're right. Since they've been home and since June 1st, the walk-offs have been great. Outscored the opposition from the 7th inning on, and that's what they did last night. That's been a key component to this offense at home.
Being able to score late, always important when you've got the last at bat, and that's what the Indians took advantage of last night. Be nice to see them, though, get out to an early lead for a change, because they've got a tough customer on the hill in Steven Strasburg, but the Indians counter with Carlos Carrasco, and he has been pitching very well.
2 very tough right-handers going at it, both with very good changeups. Carrasco coming off a start against Kansas City where he went 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit. He was very good. He's pitched good in the month of July. They're going to need him to go out there today and throw zeros on the board, because you never know what's going to answer with Strasburg, who's coming off his first loss of the year. 15 consecutive wins. The Dodgers were able to get to him, so I'm sure he wants a little revenge to come back and pitch very well. The big right-hander has an explosive fastball. He's got a great curveball and also a changeup. He is going to be a tough customer for the Indians. This will be his 3rd time pitching against the Tribe in his career. All 3 starts have come in this ballpark. So we'll see who can score first and if the zeros go on the board like we expect them to.
Well, the Indians are red hot in interleague play. We'll see if they can continue that role this afternoon, trying to sweep this 2-gamer from Washington. We'll be back with today's first pitch. Plus, we'll hear from Andre Knott and get an idea of what the Indians are feeling like after that huge, thrilling come-from-behind win last night. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. 3-run game. Zimmerman's throw, pulled him off the bag. Indians tie the game. Naquin scores. Jimenez into second. Rajay flips it over his head. Everybody safe. How about that? Base hit. Indians win it. A thrilling finish to a crazy game last night in the brief 2-game series between the Indians and the Nationals here at Progressive Field. We're just about ready for today's first pitch with the final word before that takes place. Down we go to Andre Nunn.
Well, last night's game was obviously a roller coaster, and with the Indians losing 3 games in a row, Chris Jimenez felt like last night's game was exactly what the doctor ordered, especially what happened in the 9th inning.
As a team coming off the sweep we had right there to Baltimore, you know, that kind of win right there is exactly what we needed. It put the jolt right back in us. Not that we, you know, we're coming out flat or anything like that, but I think, you know, it's right now is the dog days of, you know, July and August, and it's just that thing you got to grind through. But anytime you get something like that, that's a huge pick-me-up.
That was the jolt that they needed, guys, but now they face a different task because they're going to face one of the best pitchers in baseball in Steven Strasburg. And the one thing that they all talked about that all the hitters have to do today, play with eye level. Do not swing at that high fastball. Duck the high fastball like I ducked that piece of gum and make him bring it in the zone. If not, it could be a long day at the plate going against Strasburg.
Well, it's certainly good. He has 3 above-average pitches, Andre, the fastball, curveball, and changeup, so they've got their work cut out for him this afternoon.
I'm afraid that falls under the category of easier said than done.
No doubt.
Otherwise, more than one team would have a victory against Strasburg this year. He's ready to go, and so is Carlos Carrasco as he takes the mound for the Indians. Take a look at the starting lineup for Dusty Baker's Washington Ball Club this afternoon. Trey Turner will once again lead it off, and once again he is in center field. Bryce Harper in right field bats second. Daniel Murphy, the league's top hitter, batting third. Wilson Ramos, Jason Worth, and Anthony Rendon in the middle. Then it's Ryan Zimmerman, Danny Espinosa, and Ben Revere batting ninth.
And today's Honda starting pitcher is going to be Carlos Carrasco for the Indians. Carlos making his 15th start, coming off a beauty against Kansas City, where he pitched 6 innings, gave up just 1 hit. He walked 2, struck out 6. The offense, they gave him a boatload of runs. They scored 11 in his last start. He's open to do the same today, but I don't know about that. At home on the year, Carlos is 2-1 with a .324 earned run average, making his first career start against Washington. But it'll be his 8th interleague start, his first one this year. And in his career, 4-3 with a .329 in interleague play. So it's all on zeros now when you're facing Strasburg. Let's set the defense, brought to you by Jeep. It'll be Davis, Naquin, and Chisenhall in the outfield. It'll be Ramirez, Lindor, Kipnis, and Santana on the infield, with Jimenez doing the catching.
Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, has the plate this afternoon. John Tumpain, Chris Guccione, and Alan Porter on the bases.
Quick turnaround.
Ready for action. Trey Turner leading it off. Right field, long run, and it's over the head of Chisenhall. Hits at the base of the wall, and Turner, the speedster, easily into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, I'll tell you what, this young man, he's going to be an exciting young player for Washington. And he hit that ball a long way. Chisenhall thought he was going to catch up to it originally, but he had to keep going. That was a fastball down and away. He sliced it down the right field line, stayed back on it. You can see those hands got through the hitting area and stayed in that hitting zone a long time and drives it over the head. So that's a double. Turner, his second double. He also has 3 triples already. So Washington coming out of the chute quickly.
Bryce Harper had to get out of the way. That pitch was right at his hip, and it was zeroing in on him. Bryce Harper fouls that pitch right back. Harper 5 for his last 50 at the plate.
Well, yesterday in the first inning was the same thing. Turner walked to lead the game. Off Stoltz second on the very first pitch. Harper was able to move him to third on a fly to center field. And he scored on a base hit by Murphy. Carrasco trying to keep him from pulling the ball and letting Turner get to third base.
One-two pitches outside. And they'll even up the count. Harper leads the National League with 75 walks on the year. The 2-2. And he got in on him and popped him up shallow right. In comes Lonnie Chisenhall.
Good job by Carrasco.
Turner has to stay at second, one away.
Good job. Got it down in on that trademark.
Our keys to the game, courtesy of Wayside Furniture. Defensively, the Indians had their problems last night, so they want to try to play a clean game behind Carrasco and aggressive early in the count against Steven Strasburg. And the two go hand in hand. If you're going to beat Steven Strasburg, you better not kick it around on the infield.
No, you cannot afford to give up any extra outs. This is a very good Washington ball club, but the same being said, you know, they got to do the same thing. No extra outs when you've got good pitchers on the mound.
Daniel Murphy, the National League's best hitter with a .350 average. He's just having a spectacular season. Not only is he leading the league in batting average, but he also has hit 30 doubles, which is tops, fourth in runs batted in.
Yeah, it was a nice sign. 3-year deal. Very good left-handed hitter with some pop.
Swung on and missed. Boy, Carrasco coming out with some sharp pitches here in the early inning.
That was his nasty slider. And there's the spin to it. You can see the little dot on the baseball and get the left-hander to swing over the top. That's a very important pitch with Carlos. Stay on top of it, and you had good downward movement. Good depth to it.
Strike 3 called, painted a fastball in the inside corner, and that was just going to school right there.
Well, he locked him up. I mean, let's check out the sequence here by Carrasco. And there you go, a little change up away, it looked like. And then a slider down and in. He's going to paint the inside corner with a heater. What a great sequence. Our Circle K strikeout of the day. And you can't do it much better than that to the National League's league-leading hitter.
How many times do you suppose he's struck out on 3 pitches this year?
Yeah, those are 3 excellent pitches.
Well, it doesn't get any easier, though, because protecting Murphy is Wilson Ramos, who's second in the National League in batting average. Two for 4 last night with a double and a home run. And Ramos is actually better than Murphy when it comes to day games. In day baseball, Ramos has the second best batting average in the National League at 374.
Wow. See the ball a little bit better, I guess, in natural light.
And I would think for an everyday catcher, that's got to be pretty rare, because if anybody has a tough time bouncing back day game after night game, I would think it would be a catcher.
Well, when you have one like that, sometimes you may give him the night game off and let him catch the day game if he's that much better during the day.
That's true.
You know, usually
Maybe
they'll catch that catcher at night and then give him the day game off, but in his case, it may be different, but he bounces right back and he's catching the game today.
In the Indians' case, they've been playing both catchers a lot. Chris Jimenez didn't start last night, but he pinch hit, came on late in the ball game, and ended up getting a key sacrifice bunt down and scored the winning run. Here's the 1-2. Hit off the end of the bat. It will stay fair. Carrasco will throw him out. A leadoff double does no damage. The Indians are coming to bat. For today, under Terry Francona, it's brought to you by Progressive. It will be Carlos Santana leading it off. Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor. Lindor had 3 hits last night, including the game-winning hit that drove in the run to put the Indians on top for the victory. Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez, Lonnie Chisenhall. Then it's Rajai Davis, Tyler Naquin, and Chris Jimenez.
And today's Hyundai starting pitcher, Steven Strasburg, who just turned 28 last week. 6'4", 235 pounds. What a year he is having. This will be his 19th start, a record of 13-1, a nice 283 earned run average, 148 strikeouts in his 120 2/3 innings. This will be his 3rd start against the Indians. He's 1-1, a 1.74 ERA, and all 3 starts coming right here in this ballpark. Made his 2nd major league start here.
Just outside. Santana pops it back.
That's going to be the pitch right there, that high fastball. That's going to be borderline for a lot of the hitters that they're going to have to see maybe make him get it down, because he can follow that pitch up with a good curveball and also a changeup.
Boy, that was wicked down and in. He laid off.
Little slide piece right there coming in. That's
now the 2-1. Low with the fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Santana able to foul off the fastball. Full count. So Strasburg's given up 87 hits on the year, and fewer than 25% of those have gone for extra bases. And he strikes out Santana. 1 away.
Able to come back and get him. I think it's a slider. See that thing going straight down?
Yeah, that's why it's hard to tell if it.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the spin to it. Slider down. Might have been a little low, but that pitch went down. So one hitter, he gets his first strikeout.
Yeah, before his last start against the Dodgers, which was his only loss this year, he had given up 81 hits. 26 of those 81 were extra base hits, and the rest of them were just singles. And this is not a guy you're going to string together hits against.
Right. Well, not when, you know, batting average, opponent's batting average against is just 200.
And that jumped 6 points in his last start.
You just gotta hope, man, if you get a walk or if you can get a base hit, someone can hit one out of there. You can get quick couple points.
Kipnis swats one deep to left. Revere back, and it dies shy of the track. 1 away. 2 down.
Check the defense now for the Nats this afternoon in the outfield. Making that catch, it's going to be Revere in left. Turner is in center, Harper over and right. Rendon at third, Espinosa at short, Murphy is at second, Zimmerman at first, Ramos doing the catching.
Down low, ball 1 to Francisco Lindor. Lindor pops one to left. Routine play for Revere. The Indians go 1-2-3. We played an inning, no score. Jason Worth, the leadoff for Washington. Jason Worth taking all the way, a fastball in there for a strike. Off-speed pitch, backed up on him, missed inside. Worth had an RBI double in the first last night, then he doubled again in the sixth. And that might have been the turning point in the game that sort of got overlooked because of the way the game ended. In the sixth inning, Wilson Ramos led off with a home run for Washington to make it 5-2. Then Worth doubled and Anthony Rendon singled. They had first and third, nobody out, up 3, and looked like they were about to put the game out of reach. Ryan Zimmerman, then facing Dan Otero, who had just come into the game, sent a screaming line drive back to Otero, who somehow caught it, turned it into a double play, got a ground ball out off the bat of Espinosa, and the inning was over and no further damage was done.
Very good point right there. I think that was the turning point of the game, no question. They went from possibly putting it out of reach to the Indians stayed right there.
I mean, they were still down 3. You know, it's not like everybody said, oh great, we're right back in this thing, but
it was.
That saved their bacon.
It sure did. They get a hit there, and I mean, he stabbed it and made it look easy, and Zimmerman couldn't believe it. He was in shock, but then again, so was Worth. And it's almost like you're lucky they didn't get a triple play, but Worth, you know, held his ground. He didn't budge. Didn't have time to.
He was stunned. He was the runner at third base in that situation and couldn't believe it. Now the 3-2, fouled back. And I think that's also what prompted Dusty Baker after the game to say, quote, we should have scored 10. That's how I look at it. We got to get that killer instinct. We have to be greedy. Just because the score is what it is, you don't know which run you score is going to be the winning run in the ball game.
They certainly had opportunities last night, and I know exactly what Dusty's saying there.
The 3-2 missed inside, and another walk for Jason Worth. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, the big conversation in between innings for the Indians outfielders was how windy it is and how the ball took off the right field. Remember, out batting practice, I think early in the game sometimes these guys are still kind of feeling out how the field will play. They all said the ball's carrying to right and right center, unlike any other day they've had so far.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Andre, I think the ball's carrying all year. You look at all these different ballparks.
You know, Tito has said that here in this ballpark that it's played smaller at times, even when it was a little bit cooler. You guys remember in April and May, he says it's played smaller than what he's used to seeing here.
Well, we saw it in Kansas City. Now, granted, it was hot when we were in KC, but what, 5 home run games? I don't know if I've seen one of those.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I think it's carrying everywhere.
Home runs are definitely up. We gave you the numbers coming out of the All-Star break.
Well over 600.
600 more home runs.
Over, yeah.
Than there were a year ago at the same time. So various conspiracy theories abound, but who knows? I think it's a combination of a lot of things.
Francisco Liriano went to straightaway center in Pittsburgh yesterday off King Felix.
Pitchers aren't allowed to go to straightaway center.
Exactly. That's my thought. But it's happening everywhere.
There's a close play at first, and Terry Francona's asking for another look. No, they say we will not challenge. You know, the accuracy of the throw is always probably the most important element on a pickoff. You throw the ball right on the bag, got a good chance to get him, even if you don't catch him napping.
Well, that's why they like left-handed first baseman, because it's a natural sweep. It's right there if the throw's on the money. Where the right-hander has to reach across, it's almost like a backhanded tag.
Chris Jimenez is going to go out, get on the same page here with Carlos Carrasco. Some kind of an amusing conversation as Lindor is joined in. Sort of an interesting pause in the action here.
I don't know what they're talking about, to be honest with you.
Rendon has not seen a pitch yet. And that's low, ball one. Rendon, a terrific third baseman for Washington. Dozen dingers, 38 driven in.
2-run dinger last night in the fourth to give them a 4-2 lead in the game.
Washington is a team that will push the envelope with their speed. They have 3 guys in double figures in the lineup in stolen bases. Not including Jason Worth, who has 4. 2-0 the count. But if you missed last night's telecast, Terry Francona said before the ballgame he believes Washington is a team that is built for October baseball because they have power, they have speed, and they have terrific pitching. 2-0 pitch. And it missed high. The one thing that Washington is perhaps looking at as we get closer to the trade deadline, and they're not alone in this category, is bullpen help, even though they have a tremendous bullpen. As Carrasco has suddenly walked the first 2, and you have to wonder if that conversation on the mound between Carrasco and Jimenez and Lindor wasn't related to something that might be going on here. I don't know.
Callaway's going to come out and settle it down. I don't know. He just lost it right there with Rendon after the leadoff walk to Worth. I really don't know. Usually when there's guys at second base and you bring in an infielder, you'll talk about signs and sign changing, and they have a veteran team, so maybe they think they're stealing signs, but you can't do it from first base. Well, Indians baseball is live with the MLB.com at-bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Well, whatever kind of intrigue, cloak and dagger stuff is going on, be interesting to see what transpires here. The first 2 have walked to start the inning. They've had multiple meetings, multiple players have been involved. Ryan Zimmerman. He went swinging for the downs on the first pitch and came up empty.
Yeah, just like, that pitching coach comes out, come on, you got to get ahead of the hitter, stay aggressive, and Zimmerman's thinking, I'm going to get my fastball, which he did, but he swings through it. He was going to be aggressive there.
One ball, one strike. And again, Zimmerman, a big cut, but he comes up empty. 1-2 the count. Double play ball to short. Lindor to Kipnis. There's one on. Oh, he dropped the ball. They do get the out at second base.
Well, there you go. That happened to him a lot in Baltimore, where the unturned double play came back to bite him. And this is, tailor-made double play ball. I think Jason tried to get a little too quick in the glove, and you got Zimmerman running right there, but they're only going to get the one. So they're going to get an extra out in the inning.
unless they somehow turn a double play here. Danny Espinosa, the batter. He was 0 for 2 last night. He walked and was hit by a pitch. Jason Worth is now at third base with Zimmerman at first. And it's high, ball 1.
I'll see if Carlos can come back and pick his defense up here and get another ground ball where they can turn it, get out of the inning.
Over the top, he swung. It's 1-1. Espinosa stepped out, took a long look down at third base coach Bob Henley. Veteran Davey Lopes coaching at first. 30 years, I've read in the media guide. 30 years Davey Lopes has been coaching in the major leagues. Also had a brief stint as manager in Milwaukee. But Dusty Baker has assembled a staff. He's got plenty of veteran experience on this staff. Chris Spire is bench coach. Mike Maddox, longtime pitching coach with the Texas Rangers, now one of the Nationals staff. Dusty has done a lot of winning wherever he's been. Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Carrasco strikes him out. 2 down.
He's trying to pick up his defense in other ways. He gets a strikeout, number 2, and it comes at a perfect time. Nice changeup down. See the movement going down and away. Gets the swing over the top. Has the second out of the inning. Now a chance to get out of it.
The batter will be Ben Revere, left-handed hitter. Revere was 1 for 4 last night, and that was on a ball that didn't go more than 20 feet from home plate. A little dribbler late in the game.
Yeah, he could have been 3 for 3, and the one he gets a hit on was probably the softest he hit all night long.
Exactly,
you know,
right.
Isn't that the justice in this game?
I mean, he hit a scorcher to first that was caught, a line drive to left that was caught. Great play by Lindor, robbed him of a hit in the 7th, and then he hits a little topper, and that's the one that earns him his only hit of the night. Check the swing, it's foul. 1-1.
So far tonight, or this afternoon, Carrasco 6 swings and misses. That last one he needed badly.
Slash down a play. This day game crowd starting to come alive right here. First and third with 2 down.
Still a late arriving crowd. They're still coming in through the gates.
Yeah. Still the lunch hour in downtown Cleveland. Carrasco ready. Pulled foul by Revere. Carrasco started the inning by walking Jason Worth, then he walked Rendon. He's come back to Retire the next 2 hitters. Now Ben Revere down to the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Hit that off of his foot.
Look at the spin on that. Another swing, another one he hits down in the ground, but it goes off the inside of his foot.
This Indian pitching staff has been a pretty good example of how there are multiple ways to do the same thing. You talk about great changeup pitchers, Carrasco, Salazar. Trevor Bauer throws a changeup. I mean, but they do it in different ways. The 1-2 offering just missed in with a heater.
That's all right. He went to try and lock him up like he did to Murphy back in the first inning. Dot that inside fastball. Don't give him any swinging room. It's in off the plate. It didn't come back like he wanted it to, but that's okay. Effective pitch. Let him know that you're not afraid to come in there.
We've seen Carrasco throw his changeup in the low 90s.
Well, he can throw it anywhere from 87 to about 93.
The 2-2. Swing and a ground ball foul. The runner was going on that pitch. Zimmerman will go back to first. And a lot of it just comes, I mean, what really makes a changeup ultimately effective is the arm speed with which it's thrown. But the grip makes the pitch do different things as it approaches the hitter. And Danny's has that movement, almost looks like a 2-seam fastball for a right-handed hitter, can run down and in.
I mean, if you don't look at the speed of it, you'll think it's a 2-seam fastball sometimes because he can throw it harder than a lot of changeups and a lot of other pitchers do.
Spiked it, and Jimenez keeps it close. So Worth can't score. Zimmerman, though, does get into scoring position.
What a nice job of blocking it by Jimenez, because Worth was on his way down. He was coming down in case that Jimenez didn't pick up the ball. It ended up hitting the umpire.
It sure
he
did.
Saved a run. Credit Blue. They see it got him in the arm, and it kicks it right behind Chris. He thought he missed it. He was looking behind him and then felt the ball hit him on the arm. So that's a really big break right there.
Jeff Kellogg has been known to be very effective at blocking balls in the dirt.
Well, he did that time, and it got him on his right bicep.
Yeah, that couldn't feel very good.
Yeah, it didn't feel good, but Jimenez is going to tell him thank you.
Well, in the meantime, the count has gone full to Revere. And a long inning for Carrasco, who's over 40 pitches. Another foul ball, and Revere continues to stay alive.
I'll tell you, he's doing a great job to just get a piece, and I mean a little piece of that pitch that's down. It is a changeup. He's coming in. There's the C. It's coming off. It's going down. Good pitch, but he's just getting a piece of it. This is, boy, he's staying alive for one more pitch. He's doing a great job as a hitter.
And the 3-2 again. All back out of play. Of course it is. This has already been a 10-pitch at bat for Ben Revere. Now, mind you, this guy came in batting .216, but you wouldn't know it the way he's battling one of the top pitchers in the American League right now.
He is really making Carlos work to get this final out of the inning. We've seen it happen a number of times when you have at-bats like this. If he can get him out, it's a great thing. He can go to the dugout. If he doesn't, then he's got to keep going.
He nubs another one foul. Okay, Ben, we're just about out of baseballs here.
As a pitcher, you're saying, would you please put it in play? They'd rather have a guy that goes up there and swings hard, but he has fouled off pitches all over this strike zone. He's been everywhere. Well, you get to a point and say, hey, if you're not going to put it in play, I'm going to walk you and get the next guy.
The 12th pitch of the at-bat. And he walks him.
What an at-bat by Rivera.
This has been a brutally long inning for Carrasco, and he's walked the bases loaded.
Yeah, for whatever reason early in this inning, he was all over the place.
It's been a 31 pitch inning already. This was the undoing of Danny Salazar last night, although we learned early in the game that Salazar was not feeling all that hot. He was a bit under the weather. Well, Trey Turner doubled to deep right his first time up. And he takes ball one. So far, there's been one ball put in play in the inning.
And they should have been out of the inning with that ground ball, or at least had a double play. You know, ever since that double play wasn't turned, he's had to throw a lot of extra pitches.
Base hit left field. Worth will score. Here comes Zimmerman. Throw to the plate way offline. And the Nationals lead it 2-0.
Well, you fall behind. You have to throw a fastball, and Turner gets him. And how many times have we said it after a 12 pitch at bat? You wear that pitcher out. It benefits the guys that are to follow. And there it is. It's a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And he gets a big 2-out base hit, the only hit in the inning. But 2 runs are scoring, and this inning should have been over a long time ago.
Sure would like to know what the heck was going on early in the inning when Carrasco walked the first 2 batters. There were multiple meetings at the mound. Carrasco seemed to be chuckling as to whatever the conversation was about. But it's no laughing matter now as Washington has taken a 2-0 lead. Bryce Harper takes its inside ball one. He can't throw a strike. This is a guy who came in, had been walked 23 batters in almost 86 innings of work.
Well, 3 in the inning.
What is going on here?
.36 pitch inning. Well, he's 22 balls on the day, 28 strikes.
Yeah, but it can't be many strikes in the inning. Out of play. Austin Adams up in the Cleveland bullpen. The 2-1 pitch broke his bat. Inning over. Washington takes advantage of 3 walks and scores 2 runs.
Courtesy of Papa John's Friday, as the Indians will host the A's. All fans enjoy dollar dogs all night and post-game fireworks. Just go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Well, last night the Indians fell behind early 2-0, and they were able to come right back and answer. Steven Strasburg facing Mike Napoli, misses low and away, ball 1. Fastball in there, evens the count.
This is one where you're hoping you could keep Strasburg out there for a little while. Give Carrasco a breather. What a long inning he had. You don't want to have a quick 1, 2, 3 and send the Nats right back into their bench.
Napoli following a good fastball right back to the screen. It's 2-2. Now Strasburg, 12 out of his 18 starts this year, he's given up 2 runs or less. That's what the Indians are up against here this afternoon. Strikes him out. 1 away. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Steven Strasburg right up there in wins, but story in the Washington Post basically saying that there's a real good chance, regardless of how things wind up, that Steven Strasburg will not win the Cy Young. In fact, he may not even be in the top 5. And that isn't a knock on Strasburg. It's just there are some really good pitchers and really good seasons being authored by Madison Bumgarner, Johnny Cueto of the Giants, Jake Arrieta, and his teammate Max Scherzer. I mean, there are some really good seasons being put together. And that doesn't include Clayton Kershaw, who's hurt, who was on his way to maybe being in that conversation.
But there is still 2 months left in the season. Still have August and September.
Yep.
A lot can happen.
You're right. High pop, foul, and in the seats.
Send out a special birthday wish to Larry Kopp of Dover, who turns 80 today. Very happy birthday.
Now the 2-2 to Jose Ramirez. He drives one to deep right field. Back goes Harper. It's over his head and off the wall. He misplays it on the bounce, so Ramirez easily into second base with a 1-out double.
Well, he smoked that ball. He dropped the barrel head of the bat, and that thing, I knew it was over Harper's head as soon as it left the bat. He went down and hit that one a ton. And it goes off the wall, and Harper might have been close had he fielded this ball cleanly, but Ramirez was out of the gate and out of the chute, and he was thinking double his first step out of the box.
Isn't that amazing, you know, how many times you see a guy play that ball off the wall with a bare hand and you think, man, don't use your bare hand, use your glove. He goes to use the glove and doink, doesn't catch it. Lonnie Chisenhall fouling it back. Lonnie with a hit in 4 straight games. And a foul back quickly. 0-2. Broke his bat. That might work out well. No, it died. And Murphy gathers it behind second base, 2 down. Maybe it was going to flutter beyond the reach of Murphy. Instead, it's out number 2 as you take another look.
Yeah, there's that fastball. I mean, his bat explodes. Jammed him, got it upstairs. You can see it just ate that bat up alive, and it doesn't get it out of the infield. So jammed him and gets the second out. The old flip downs, Matty. Look at that, Murph.
Yeah.
You don't see many players wearing those anymore.
Rajay Davis, his eyewear, you can see that all the way from deep center field. Just missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steven Strasburg, the first overall pick of the Nationals back in '09. Ramirez races for third and he's in there safely. 2-out stolen base gives him 11 on the year.
Well, this is really.
He wasn't paying attention to him.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why you go if he's not paying attention. We'll see if Rajai can get him in, get him on the board.
Stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rajay Davis batting .294 on the year here at home. Chased a high fastball and strikes out. We've played 2. It's Washington 2, Cleveland nothing. And we'll take a look at our player profile brought to you by Levin. Daniel Murphy signed as a free agent with the Nationals in the offseason. And a whale of a postseason with the Mets right up until that World Series. Defensively, he had some troubles. Offensively, the magic disappeared in the Fall Classic.
Yeah, but the homer in 6 consecutive playoff games, that's hard to do.
Strokes one toward left, and Rajai Davis makes the grab, 1 down. Now let's take a look at Arcia in the driver's seat. And Carlos Carrasco coming in. Had a terrific month of July. He just had one awkward inning here today when he walked 3 batters in the second. Cost him 2 runs. And Wilson Ramos the batter. Ramos a tapper back to the mound his first time up. Routine bouncer short. Big hop for Lindor. 2 down. And that will bring up Jason Worth. Eventually.
Many clouds in the sky, a bright blue sky. Nice afternoon day crowd. This is the man that led off last inning, and Carrasco walked. It seems like in this series, the leadoff walks, they come back and bite you here.
Yes, indeed. Tried to hold up, and he did. 2 balls and a strike. Anita Melaragno is celebrating her 96th birthday today in Ashtabula.
Anita, happy birthday.
She's watching the game on TV. Her nephew Dale Milano down here at the ball game with a group of friends. Ran into a group coming into the ballpark today. The Ohio Athletic Conference Sports Information Directors all got together, and they're here. Big group. 2-2 pitch is a little chopper back to the mound, and an easy play for Carrasco. Boy, what a difference an inning makes. Carves them up with ease here in the 3rd. The Indians trail it 2-0. to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Really is a pretty good sized crowd as it has finally made its way in.
Very nice for a noon game.
Might have more today than we did last night.
There's a lot of day baseball going on, not only in the American League but also in the National League. 2 and 3 in the National League and 2, 3 in the American.
Tyler Naquin leading off for Cleveland here in inning number 3. Naquin with a key pinch hit double last night. Breaking ball down and in, 1-1. Naquin leads the American League rookies in batting average. Tied for the league leading home runs in that category. 5th in runs batted in. 2nd in runs scored. 2nd in total bases.
Yeah, he's really done a nice job.
He and Nomar Mazara of Texas sort of battling for many of those key statistical category leads.
Yeah, I'll bet Mazara's got more at bats too than Naquin.
I would think so, because I don't know that he went down.
Well,
he's been up almost the whole year.
You know, he was inserted into that Texas lineup because of injury.
Full count. Look at what Tyler's done in the last 2 months since getting called back.
Those are 2 hefty months right there. Got a break.
The other challenger in Rookie of the Year action is Michael Fulmer of Detroit with 9 wins and a 2.45 ERA. Tyler went down and scalded it foul on a plate on the left side.
Here comes a changeup. He throws like the circle change, but you can see Tyler kept his hands back enough to foul it off. He's interesting, you know, to go down and hit a pitch. That double he hit last night.
Upstairs, he walked him to start the inning.
Traded back.
Down to Andre.
Well, that's the next part in Tyler Naquin's baseball game, to take walks and not swing at bad pitches. But this morning, Terry Francona was talking a little bit about, you know, what has made Naquin so special to watch is how he fights within and at bat. He goes, a guy can make him look bad for 2-3 pitches, but he doesn't give in. And we talked about that quiet confidence that he had when we were in Kansas City. And Terry says you can see that through it at bat, that he doesn't ever get encouraged, or, you know, he's always encouraged no matter what's being thrown at him.
Well, that's how you learn. You adjust through at bats to at bat, and we're watching him grow right in front of our eyes.
Here's Chris Jimenez. Lays down another good bunt. This time Ramos flips it over and Murphy gets there to take the throw. 1 down. Last night it was the first baseman Zimmerman who took the field of the bunt, and then when he turned to throw, he threw it down the right field line.
Well, in comes Zimmerman from first base, but Ramos called him off. It's a much easier play for him and just a quick flip. So give him a sacrifice.
Top of the order now, Carlos Santana. Struck out in the first inning. First time through the order. Indians with 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 punch outs. This was the bunt last night. Watch the first baseman charging. He takes the play.
Yeah.
And then tried to go around Jimenez to the first base coaching box side of the bag. And it was disastrous. Chopper off the plate. Goes foul. Strasburg has only made 42 pitches, 27 of those for strikes.
Well, this usually can't be a fun at bat when you're down against a guy like this 0-2 that has a couple of different weapons to put you away. He tried to elevate the fastball on that last pitch, but that was not even close. That was not an effective pitch, but there comes the changeup right after.
2 down.
Strasburg, he's got a slider, and you can see it usually goes straight down. There's the change. It's like a circle change. You can see the rotation, and that's the movement you get on it. It has him out in front of a 95-mile-an-hour, and a nice fastball that he can elevate, and he will throw up in the strike zone. So those are different weapons, you know. And when he throws that fastball, and then he can start that slider up, and it goes down and in. It's just the eye level that a hitter has to look at, because they're telling themselves, lay off that high fastball. Not as easy to do.
Nice backhanded pick there by Ramos. Jason Kipnis flied out the left in the first inning. Kip came in batting .299 against right-handers on the year. Fly ball right field. Drifting back, Harper. Inning over. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We've played 3. It's Washington 2, Cleveland nothing. And as we go to the 4th inning, it will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Nats. Anthony Rendon, who walked his first time up, will lead it off. Rendon takes a breaking ball for a strike. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes.
Nationals after this ball game are going to be heading to the West Coast. They've got a 4-game series with the Giants following, starting tomorrow night, and then we'll head to Arizona before they head home. So they're starting a long road trip.
Got him looking. 3 good pitches from Carrasco. 1 down. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. And the Nationals putting Stephen Drew on the DL with what they're calling vertigo-like symptoms. He had a stomach bug that cost him nearly a week of games and about 7 or 8 pounds. But his stomach healed up. Then his head went out of whack. He was dizzy. And Dusty Baker said, you know, he'd had a couple of concussions, but he said nothing had happened that would have caused concussion-like symptoms like this. So he was kind of worried there might be something else wrong. So he went back to D.C. to get evaluated. They've called up Wilmer Defoe from AA Harrisburg, taking his place on the roster. And in the grand scheme of things, that means that Trey Turner is going to continue to play the outfield for now, even though he's technically an infielder.
I'll tell you what, he looks A-OK out there from what we've seen to this point.
Yeah, he's run a couple down.
Yes, he has.
Last year, when Turner spent 27 games with the Nationals, he played second base and shortstop. And he's getting his 2nd straight start in center field. Danny Espinosa, swing and a miss. It's quickly 0-2. Play. Didn't hit it hard. Actually broke his bat, but it's foul.
It gets inside. Little slider. He hit it hard enough if it was fair to fall for a base hit. Again, an 0-2 count. He'll be trying to stay alive.
Swung on and missed. Carrasco got Espinosa to swing over the top. He is fan 4, and he has looked very dominating, retiring the last 7 straight. that home is truly where the heart is. Ian Desmond batting .363, David Ortiz .360, Francisco Lindor third best home batting average in the AL, in front of Xander Bogaerts and Miguel Cabrera.
Really good hitters on that list.
Start a pretty good team with that.
Yeah, well, Desmond was with
guys.
these Nationals last year. Ended up signing about an $8 million contract with Texas and has moved to center field after playing shortstop.
Lindor fly to left, his only time up.
See if they can get anything going this second time through.
Just foul. Beyond the bag at first. Strasburg was kind of ready to start, then stop, start again, stop again. Let me just reset. High fastball. From 0-2 to 2-2 for Lindor. Struck him out with a high fastball, and that's number 4 for Strasburg. 1 down. Bring in Andre Knott.
All right, Matty, we have a lot of conversations about baseball, but this is one I got to ask Rick, and maybe you can help me out with it too. We talk so much about the splits of Mike Napoli as well as Jose Ramirez and how well they hit here at home, but they don't on the road. So, Rick, I'll ask you, what do you see different about guys, and what could play into that? Why a guy could hit better at home than he does on the road?
Yeah, you know, I don't see a big difference. He has the same amount of hits at home and road. I don't know if you feel comfortable. You see the ball better here, or things just happen to fall your way. You know, on home road, it varies every year. It's different. But those two guys, I mean, you know, you're looking at 80 points difference.
Right.
You know, from home and road, and it's tough to tell. I mean, what makes it tick, and if you ask them, I'm sure they wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well, Matt Knapp says he is comfortable here. He says he likes the background. We always get into the background talk, things like that. Now Jose, he just looks at me and shrugs and smiles. He has no idea.
Well, this is all kind of new to him.
Right. He has
to a certain extent. I mean, it's not like he hasn't
playing
been
every
before,
day. It is.
Yeah.
It's new for him. Getting out there every day. You got to learn new ballparks, and if you like your home ballpark with that hitting background, like they talked about in Baltimore, saying that they liked it, you might like seeing it there. They didn't, you know, we weren't there long enough for them to get any hits, but you know, it's all comfort, I think, and confidence.
I'm with you 100% on it. I don't think there's anything you can look too deep into. It's just when you step in that box, there are some, and I know you'll probably, maybe you won't agree with it. I think there are some sometimes you dig into home plate and you look at, and it looks like the pitcher's standing 10 feet tall, and you feel like you'd have to take 2 swings to get it to the outfield wall. And then there are some parks where you feel like you're on top of the pitcher.
Yeah.
It's a feel thing, and it's hard to describe.
And it changes with every ballpark, with every player. You know, it's you know, there may be a few guys that have really good feelings about playing in certain places. It's hard to pinpoint.
Well, Ramirez certainly likes this ballpark. He's 2 for 2.
How about that? The last 2 swings this kid's put on the ball here. The Indians have 2 hits, and Ramirez has both of them. This one coming with 2 outs now, right back up the middle. So his approach has been very good.
Now the Indians need somebody else to connect. Ramirez had a 1-out double in the second for the Indians' first hit. Then Chisenhall popped up. Davis struck out. Naquin led off with a walk in the third. He was sacrificed to second. Santana and Kipnis both flied out. They haven't been able to put anything together to scratch out a run to this point. Foul right back. Strasburg, like all of the good pitchers, has worked from in front all day in terms of the count. And I can't remember too many 2-0, 2-1 counts.
No, he is. He's been in front. He's been very tidy to this point. In Lonnie's first two at bats, I think there's only one pitch he hasn't swung at. He's been very aggressive, but he's fouled everything back.
Swung at that high pitch too. And a high throw gets away. Kicks off the sidewalk. Ramirez into third, and he stopped there. Crowd wanted him to go for it. But Mike Sarbaugh put the stop sign on. Lonnie Chisnall gets into scoring position with 2 down.
Well, that's going to be an error. Rendon throws from underneath and overthrows Zimmerman at first base. He was jammed again, and he just fights it off. You can see how far underneath he went to flip it to first base, way over Zimmerman's head. And they thought about Ramirez coming home, but then by the time Bryce Harper gets it just behind second base, he would have had a chance easily to throw him out. So they had to hold him. So they catch a break here. It'll go as an error.
Oh boy, now a golden opportunity, though there are 2 down. Rajay Davis checks on a ball that's low. It was a 2-out hit for the Nationals in the second inning that put 2 on the board for Washington. Now the Indians looking for their own piece of 2-out lightning.
Well, the Nationals are the league's best defense in the National League. That was only their 40th error. And last night a big error cost them, and this one could cost him here if Rajay could get a base hit.
Rajay was trying to hit that one into the parking garage. See if he adjusts now with a count 1-1.
And Strasburg going to try and pick his defense up.
Slow chopper to third. Rendon throws this one on the money. No runs, a hit, 2 stranded. After 4, it's Washington 2, Cleveland 0. Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. We go now to the 5th inning. What a beautiful day in downtown Cleveland. Ben Revere will lead it off. Then it's Trey Turner and Bryce Harper. Carlos Carrasco has retired 7 in a row.
Well, this was the at-bat in the 2nd inning, I think, that really broke Carrasco down. He had a 12-pitch at-bat, and he ended up walking and then fell behind Turner before he had to throw him a strike, and Turner got a fastball to his liking at 2-0 and drove in the only 2 runs of the game.
Two balls, 1 strike.
That 2nd inning I was talking about was a 38-pitch inning by Carlos, where he ended up walking 3 in the inning.
Yeah, Austin Adams was up, getting loose in the bullpen. It was a weird inning all the way around.
Yeah, it was.
We may not find out after the game what was going on, but there were 2 meetings among players on the mound, and Mickey Callaway came out.
Double play not turned, and that's where he had to throw a lot of the pitches.
Walked
after
3 in all in the inning. Full count. Chops that foul. Here we go again.
Yeah, here you go. He fouled off I don't know how many pitches in his last at bat just to stay alive, to get pieces of some very good pitches Carrasco was making.
Had to be at least 6.
Yeah, he saw 12 in the total at bat, so I would say you're right.
Puts that in play. Big hop for Kipnis. 1 down. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. So Lindor came out. Carrasco was talking to Jimenez. He walked, as I said, 3 in the inning. Another meeting. Mickey Callaway came out. This looked like a big play in the inning. Oh, they get 1, but they don't get the 2nd. And the walk. And then with 2 outs, Trey Turner delivers the 2-run single. There were 3 walks in the inning. Trey Turner doubled in the 1st, singled in the 2 runs in the 2nd. Had a hit last night, making his 2nd ever career start in center field. But he is, I guess you just flat out call him an athlete, because he looks like he's been a center fielder his whole life from what we've seen.
Yeah, no kidding.
He ran a ball down in the outfield last night off of Juan Uribe, and he went a long way to get it. He also ran one down off the bat from Jose Ramirez.
Well, that's what you need to play center field. If you have speed and can cover gaps, you can open some eyes. And well, I'll tell you what, it's only 1 game. I understand that. Boy, he looked comfortable out there.
Broken bat right back to Carlos. And that's 9 in a row. Now watch how far he goes. He's playing over toward left center.
Now at the plate,
Got to that one easy.
Yeah. Now, I don't know a lot about the guys that were involved in this trade because there are a ton of names. But the Nationals got Turner in part of a three-way trade. He came from San Diego. And Tampa Bay was also involved in that trade. And this occurred right after the winter meetings this past off season. But Steven Souza Jr. was involved, left-handed pitcher Travis Ott, Will Myers, the outfielder formerly of Kansas City, Ryan Hannigan, Rene Rivera, another catcher, and about 4 or 5 other players. So there were multiple pieces going different directions, but I don't know how anyone could have included this guy in a trade from what we've seen. Talking about Trey Turner, but.
Well, Myers obviously went from Tampa out there, and he's having a terrific year for him.
Swing and a miss. Bryce Harper has flied to right, flied to center. Oh for 7 in the series. Just missed outside with a fastball. And he pulls that into the Washington dugout. Swing and a miss. Carrasco strikes him out. He has set down 10 in a row. He has fanned 5, but the Nationals still lead it 2-0. Washington lead, and these fans are hoping to see the Indians offense ignite. And maybe Tyler Naquin can get it started here in the 5th. He tried in the 3rd with a leadoff walk. He reached as far as second base, but no further. The Indians have had a runner get to 3rd twice here today. Pulled foul. And Naquin now down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slowly chopped toward third, and it's going to be a base hit. So Naquin once again reaches to start an inning for the Indians. We'll see if they have any more success this time around, as Chris Jimenez will bat with Naquin aboard to start the home half of the fifth.
Changeup that he's able to get to. Now watch the spin. Look at that ball almost bounced on the plate, but watch the spin it has. And Rondon at third base can't do anything with it. It just spins away from him because it went straight down. And here you go. You figure it's going to bounce to him. It bounces away from him. And once Strasburg couldn't get there, it's going to go as an infield single. So he's been on twice.
Chris Jimenez laid down a sacrifice bunt in the third. What do you think, Arch? Will he try it again here?
Probably.
Nats don't look for the bunt. Not that they necessarily have to. And he takes a high strike. Jimenez not happy with that call.
You know, instead of bunting or something, it would be nice to try a hit and run, but this guy has swing and miss stuff, so you can, you know, swing and miss and get thrown out at the same time. But
out of play, 0-2 the count. Jimenez with Carlos Santana to follow, then Jason Kipnis. Here in the home half of the fifth, Indians down 2-0. Out of play to the right. Detroit outlasted Boston last night at Fenway Park, so the Indians still with a 7-game lead over the Tigers in the loss column. Chicago currently in third place in the AL Central at 50-50. The Royals slip sliding away, have lost 4 in a row, and they're now 3 games under 500. The 0-2. Got him. Strikeout number 5 for Strasburg. 1 down. Take a look at where things currently stand in the AL Central. The loss column, you can't make up losses, so that's the focal point. 7 in front of Detroit, 9 in front of Chicago, 10 in front of Kansas City. And the Indians have some games to make up on the rest of the pack, because they're only at 99 games. You see Chicago's already played 100. Detroit more than that. They're already played 101. But the Indians, as we pointed out after Thursday, they don't have a whole lot of off days. Santana fouls one straight back.
One in the month of August. That's it. We will be in Washington taking that off day as well on the road.
You'll see some monuments.
Well, a lot of things you can do there. Great town.
The 0-1 to Santana. Popped him up. Rendon, the third baseman. 2 down. T-Mobile, greater coverage of baseball. Are you kidding me? The first Cardinal since Stan Musial?
Well, that goes hand in hand, Jed. Joyko.
Easy for you to say.
Jerko. Is that mutual?
Jerko, you.
That's something, huh? Both games with a double dip in a week.
Yeah, because I remember another Cardinal that had a homer in both games of a doubleheader. Did Mark Whitten do it?
Yeah. He had 5 of them in those 2 games.
Jason Kipnis, fly to left, fly to right. Indians looking for something offensively against Strasburg. To center field. Turner makes the catch. 5 complete. Washington 2, Cleveland nothing. Ohio includes your first drink. It's only $13, so grab some friends, come on down. You got the drink rails in left, the corner and right. They're only available at Indians.com/district ticket. It is a popular spot, especially on a day like today.
Well, you look at the lines right there, the difference. 2 walks, really. That's the biggest difference. Because 2 of those came around to score for Washington back in the 2nd.
Carrasco walked the bases loaded in that inning and hasn't looked back since, but that was a weird developing situation.
You know,
and
that
they
inning,
haven't sniffed him since.
No, and from that inning, out of those 38 pitches that he threw, 19 of those came after the unturned double play. So, you know, half of those pitches.
Well, 12 of them came 1 at bat.
Yeah,
well,
that's right, after he had the strikeout.
90th pitch of the day. A little low to Daniel Murphy. He was struck out, flied out. Struck him out on 3 pitches his first time up.
Yeah, you go in there with Murphy. You can go in there, but if you miss, you have to miss in off the dish. You can't miss, you know, on the good part of the plate. He made an adjustment in his last at bat, trying to take it to left field.
Two balls, 2 strikes. hit a ton. Deep right, Lonnie back, and it is going to make it to the seats. It's a Daniel Murphy home run, and Washington's lead is 3-0. His 20th home run on the year.
He looked in for quite a while to Jimenez on this pitch, and I think it was a changeup. And the changeup stayed middle of the plate. There it was. Gave him something he could reach. And there you see the spin to the changeup, and Murphy put a good swing on it. Gets his 20th home run and gives the Nats a 3-0 lead.
And up comes Wilson Ramos 0 for 2. Two quick strikes. The 2-strike pitch is in off the plate. Just missed inside, and the count evens at 2-2.
See that ball running in. Jimenez holding it, giving Kellogg an opportunity to take a long peek at that pitch.
Reaches for it, stays fair. Ramirez off balance throw on the money. One away.
Well, fans can enjoy Dollar Dogs and post-game fireworks. It's presented by Blaster Corporation. That'll be Friday. The Indians will host the Oakland A's. Budweiser's out in the right field district are $2 from 5 to 7. Just go to Indians.com and get your tickets.
Boston in front of Detroit 1-0. They're in the third at Fenway. Arch told you earlier, lots of day baseball throughout the majors. White Sox are at Wrigley to play the Cubs. That's a nighttime affair. So are the Royals at home against the Angels.
Yeah, that's a, you know, for the both Chicago teams, you're not on the road even if you are on the road. You know,
you're still driving from home.
It's funny, the Cubs had a road trip. They never even jumped on a plane. They were playing Milwaukee. They bust up, come back. They had to go play the White Sox for 2 and then head home
to play at Wrigley for 2.
Yeah, that's you know, that's amazing.
That's what you call a break in the schedule.
Yeah, right. It's not a bad deal.
Jason Worth in the hole, a ball in 2 strikes. Lonnie Chisenhall makes the grab, 2 away.
Well, for Carlos Carrasco, he's had a good slider today, and he had to throw it early in this ball game. But there's a good one. Swing and a miss. Go to the changeup, as he's thrown a lot today. And then his fastball. Going inside and hitting the target there.
He had retired 10 in a row before Daniel Murphy hit a solo shot here in the 6th to extend the Washington lead to 3-0. That's going to go foul. And the way things are going against Strasburg, that's a big hole to climb out of. Indians have managed just 3 hits themselves, and he's not helping them out at all because he hasn't put anybody on base other than the one leadoff walk to Tyler Naquin in the third. One walk, one error by Washington, but no damage done. Rendon fouling it off. It's 0-2. Off day tomorrow. We'll be back to work Friday night. And the Indians welcome in the Oakland Athletics for a 3-game weekend series. Bauer, Tomlin, Kluber, the scheduled starters for the Tribe. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday night near sold out. Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Bounce to third. Ramirez. Long throw. Santana with a nice stretch to get him. And the inning is over. Daniel Murphy does some damage here in the 6th. 3-0 Washington. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Tribe down, looking for some offense. Francisco Lindor, Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez will bat for Cleveland.
Francisco a little upset with the pitch he swung at last time up to strike out. That was the high fastball that he was able to get him to go after.
Fouled back and out of play. 2-1. Lindor had 3 hits and 5 at bats last night. If he cracked his bat or if he just wants some more.
He wants some stick, some of that claw. His hand slipped off the bat on that swing. And how many times did we, was it Baltimore, the bat flying out of a lot of the hitters' hands, you know?
Happened to Chris Davis a couple of times. Jose Ramirez, somebody else flipped one down the left field
line. The humidity that was out, but it's sort of pretty nice today.
Yeah. 83 at game time. Temperatures held steady. Strike called. 2-2. He's been efficient.
Yes, he certainly has. The most pitches in an inning, 18.
Lindor sends a high fly ball to left. Back goes Revere, shy of the track, 1 away. They haven't really stung the ball off Strasburg with other than the Jose Ramirez double in the second.
Absolutely. Jose's hit the ball the hardest of anybody this afternoon because he's kept him off balance. He's got some swings and misses. He's only walked one, and he's been into the kitchen, but you can see right there that fastball, he can throw it by you in that spot all day long. The 3 hits, Ramirez had both of them line drives, and Naquin got one, but that was an infield hit, but that had the spin coming right out in front of the plate. Indians will get an opportunity for 2 more games back in Washington on our next road trip. We haven't been in their new ballpark yet.
No, that's right.
Haven't had a chance to see that one. The last time we played there was in RFK.
Yeah, this is the Nats' 3rd trip to Cleveland
They came
since
in 11,
we were there
they
last.
came in 13 or 10. I'm sorry. 2010 and 2013. The last time we were there, Joe Borowski was our closer.
Yeah.
Victor was our catcher.
Nuke Logan was playing for Washington. He ran too far around third and picked him off. 9th inning. 2-2.
Oof. That's a good pitch with 2 strikes. Tough to lay off, and if you swing at it, you're not going to hit it anyway. And what I mean, it's right there. It's just off the plate. But boy, is that a good pitch, and hitters that take it, they take it because they can't hit it, and they realize that.
Oh, how about that? Napoli right up the gut, but Murphy was standing right there.
Thought he caught it in the air, but
he did.
He throws to first anyway.
AT&T high-speed replay. Jose Ramirez has 2 of the 3 Indians hits here today.
That first one was a liner off the wall. Another one he got on top of. He hit one down in the zone, and he goes up and he's able to hit a line drive up in the zone. So that's pretty impressive off this guy. That he can go down and pick one up below his knees and also get up above the belt.
Low and away, ball 1. Pop back out of play.
There's the difference we were talking about earlier. 100 points between home and road for Jose. You know, he's a tough guy. What surprises me, I think, so much, Matt, is he's a tough guy to strike out. He puts the ball in play. That it would be that much of a difference, you know, home road for him. I would think he'd be much closer, because he has that same approach up there. He doesn't try to hit home runs. He doesn't walk a lot.
Right now it's a difference of 43 at bats. 43 more on the road than at home. The number of hits is about equal coming into today. Now he's got 49 hits at home, 45 on the road. But only 141 at bats at home versus 184 on the road.
He's going to have an opportunity to take advantage of that and expand that. Hit well over 300 at home.
Outside a full count.
Third toughest to strike out in the league. Just about 1 out of every 10 at bats.
upstairs. Ball 4. He draws a walk, so he's perfect on the day. He's been on base all 3 times. Join Indians team president Chris Antonetti on Tuesday, August 16th here at Progressive Field for the Positive Coaching Alliance Breakfast. Fans will get a behind-the-scenes perspective about player development. Tickets available by visiting positivecoach.org/chapters/Cleveland. Lonnie Chisenhall reached on an error his last time up. Takes inside ball 1. Inside corner. Called a strike. Runner goes. And Lonnie pops it up. Into foul territory. Rendon ends the inning. 6 in the books. Washington 3, Cleveland nothing. Baseball is brought to you by Ford. Built Ford tough. By the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. And by Adventure Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Up to 25% off on 2016s. Save now. Three to nothing. Washington leading it as we go to the 7th inning. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for right-hander Dan Otero.
This was the matchup on what we considered actually the play of the game last night that kept the ball game a close ball game, where Otero was on to face Zimmerman, hit the line drive, and they got the double play on it with 1st and 3rd and nobody out.
Foul back. Shallow right. Out goes Kipnis. Oh, just can't quite come up with it there. Lonnie backs it up, fires it in. Zimmerman leadoff single here in the 7th.
You know, it would have been a good play, but when you're out on the dead sprint like Kipnis was, that ball's bouncing a little bit, and by the time he got there, and you ask him, he would have said, I probably should have made that play, but it is bouncing. I'm telling you, with your back to the infield, not an easy play as an infielder. He got there, he was in stride, it just went off the end of his glove, and those infielders use a lot smaller gloves than the outfielders.
Bunt. Santana. Long flip to Kip. And they get Espinosa. They'll get credit for a sacrifice.
Well, it's a nice job. Well, Jim Thome, Albert Bell, Frank Robinson, and Charlie Jamison will be inducted into the Indians Hall of Fame this Saturday. The Indians will take on the Oakland A's, and 15,000 fans will get a Thome bobblehead. And the post-game fireworks will be presented by Brilliant Electric Sign Company. So come on out to the ballpark. It should be an exciting day. Almost a sellout on Saturday. Not many seats remaining for Friday. So if you're interested, go to Indians.com. Check out some tickets.
Outside ball 1 to Ben Revere. Kipnis. They'll take care of Revere. 2 down. Zimmerman slides over to third base and will bring up Trey Turner. Trey Turner doubled in the first, drove in the only 2 runs through the first 5 innings of this game for Washington. Back in the 2nd, it stayed 2-0 until Daniel Murphy led off the 6th with a home run. A little bit low, ball 1. Broke his bat, base hit though. How do you like that? Jimenez kicks that broken bat halfway toward the pitcher's mound. And it's now a 4-0 Washington lead.
Well, it shattered the bat, but he was able to keep it fair. And you get it past Ramirez at third base. And that'll go as a double. So he is 3 for 4 today, has 3 of the RBIs. So Turner has had a good afternoon.
It's going to be it for Dan Otero. Timeout. Washington 4, Cleveland 0.
For kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket located in the family deck out here at Progressive Field by the Kids Clubhouse. Kids tickets only available at Indians.com.
Well, Kyle Crockett on for the drive with a runner at first and 2 down in the 7th, and the Indians down 4. Kyle will be facing Bryce Harper. Last night, Crockett came on in the 5th inning to face Harper, got him to hit a ground ball. And then he got Murphy to hit into a line drive double play to end the inning. So here is your lefty-lefty matchup. And Crockett lays one in there for a strike. Just a bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Harper 0 for 8 in the series. Because of the walks, Harper's still able to get on base. But the hits for him have been few and very far between of late.
I can notice in this at bat he's not wearing his batting gloves. See him down there getting the dirt in the batter's box, rubbing his hands. When he came up earlier, he had batting gloves on.
Well, when you're in a 5 for 53 funk, you'll try just about anything.
Well, he's done it all year. He's gone back and forth.
Well, that was an awfully good pitch. 2-2.
Trying to get a feel for that bat.
The tape has really made a revival here with the wooden bats.
Yeah. Down on the hands. Yeah, on the handle it certainly has.
Foul.
Gives it a little spongy feeling because it does. It feels good.
Well, some of that tape is literally like a padded tape. His looks like it might just be old school.
Right. The white
tape.
Yes, it is compared to the.
It's almost like
stuff.
a grip, like a batting grip. Like Jose Ramirez, I know he uses it. A number of guys do.
Oh, a lot of guys use that tape now.
Harper was the unanimous National League most valuable player a year ago. That's how humbling this game can be. 2-2. Got him looking. Kyle Crockett continues the frustration of Bryce Harper. But the Nats tack on another run. Stretch time in Cleveland. They lead it 4-0. But the Indians are not having a whole lot of fun against Steven Strasburg. He has cuffed him on just 3 hits so far through 6. He's back out to work the 7th in what could be his final inning of work this afternoon.
Yeah, he's got 3 ground ball outs, 10 fly ball outs, 5 strikeouts. Indians 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position today. And he's recorded 9 outs on 3 pitches or less. So he's been in total command today.
Rajai Davis 0 for 2 has struck out, grounded out. Up and away, ball and 2 strikes. And the 2-2. Rajai pokes one to left. Back is Revere. 1 down. Our great clip of the game from last night was a terrific bunt by Rajai Davis. With the charging third baseman, he simply popped it over his head. And went for an infield base hit, set up the game-winning hit for Francisco Lindor.
Thing of beauty.
As Rajai would say, that was bang. Here's Tyler Naquin. He walked in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. Both in those 2 instances, he was leading off the inning, but Tribe could not cash in either instance. Left-hander getting loose in the Washington bullpen. It's no secret that the Nationals have been looking for bullpen help, like a number of teams. Just about every team outside of Baltimore that's in the playoff hunt is looking for bullpen help, but probably due in part to the fact that Jonathan Papelbon has really struggled here of late. It has sort of magnified. Oh, that's a fair ball. No, home plate umpire said it's foul. First base umpire was signaling fair, but the home plate umpire said it hit Naquin's foot. Either hit his foot or hit the plate. I couldn't tell, or I'm not sure what. It must have hit his foot.
Yeah,
because he was pointing down to the ground right away. Yeah, must have hit his foot.
Well, his hands go up, so I don't know. Maybe he got away with one there. I didn't see if Naquin went down to. It didn't look like he went directly down to say it did.
That's outside, 2-2. One of the guys the Nationals were really pushing hard for was Aroldis Chapman of the Yankees, who ended up going to the Chicago Cubs for a pretty good package of players.
You can't like that, if you're Washington.
But the Yankees gave up a lot. I should say the Cubs gave up a lot to get Aroldis Chapman. They gave up Gleyber Torres, who's a very highly touted shortstop prospect. Adam Warren, who had previously pitched with New York, but they also gave up 2 outfielders that are very highly touted, Billy McKinney and Rashad Crawford. And Mike Rizzo, who's the general manager of the Washington Nationals, he was asked if he was disappointed that Washington couldn't get a deal in place with the Cubs to get Aroldis Chapman. And he said, I was disappointed until I saw what the deal was. There was no way we were going to come close to matching that for a 2-month rental.
And totally understandable. When you think about that, if he comes in and you've got 2 months, say he appears in 20 games for you, gives you 20 innings, and you're giving up 4 and your #1 prospect down there, I understand for a rental because he is a free agent. And he could very easily go back and sign with the Yankees next year.
Abraham Almonte pinch hitting here in the 7th with 2 down. He has not wanted to trade, reportedly, any of his top prospects, which one of them includes Trey Turner, who just recently got called back up and is playing in center field. And the Cubs, to their credit, I guess they said, look, we're going for it. Did they pay a lot? Yes. They Theo Epstein agreed. We did pay a lot to get Chapman.
Well, it's their time. It's now or never, man. It's been what, 1908 was the last time they won the World Series.
And you know what?
Close. Let's go. It pushes Rondon, from a closer down to the 8th inning. Although I will say this, Chapman, no postseason experience.
Strasburg makes quick work of Almonte. The Indians go in order. We go to the 8th. 4-0 Washington. Is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Four nothing Washington, 8th inning. Kyle Crockett, who got the last out of the 7th, will stay on to face Daniel Murphy here in the 8th. Roberto Perez comes into the ball game now after they pinch hit for Jimenez. Murphy will lead it off. He is 1 for 3 with a home run. Missed inside. Last time up, Daniel Murphy at his 20th home run of the year.
That coming off a changeup from Carlos Carrasco. He left that pitch. Got a little too much of the plate on it. Murphy made it a souvenir.
Shoots that down the right field line. Fair ball. Off the sidewall into the corner. Lonnie Chisnall digs it out. But Murphy glides into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, this is one reason why this guy is leading the league. In hitting. Watch him pull the hands in on this inside fastball. They think they're going to get him in there, and he's able to keep the ball fair. It looks like it hit right on the line.
Or did it? Indians are taking a look at this.
Well, it was awfully close.
It's hard to see on that angle. Terry Francona might
He's
make
going
a pitching
full.
change.
Yeah, absolutely. He was here to face the one hitter only. But boy, he kept that ball fair. Hard to believe. What a good hitter.
Timeout for a pitching change in the 8th. Washington 4, Cleveland nothing. Cleveland in the 8th inning with the leadoff man at second base for Washington. He's got a Wilson Ramos coming up, who is 0 for 3 today. Ramos has grounded out all 3 times this afternoon.
Shaw came on in last night's ball game back in the 9th, hit the first guy that he faced. And coming on to try and keep it a 4-0 ball game here.
Bryant ended up with the win last night. He was the 6th Indians pitcher to work in the ball game. Today he's the 4th. Tigers lead the Red Sox 2-1. They're in the 4th inning in Boston. Low and away. 2-0. Tied him up. Good fastball. 2-1. Trading deadline for the major leagues comes up on Monday afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Two-one pitch, fouled right back. To this point, things have been relatively quiet. Obviously, the trade of Aroldis Chapman, the biggest name to move so far. Melvin Upton going from San Diego to Toronto.
But it's amazing when you get to that, not even a week or out, but a couple of weeks before, or maybe a month before that trading deadline's over, they throw out rumors that for every team looking for something, don't they?
Yeah, and it's going to probably continue to intensify here in the next few days. It's interesting, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, reports started circulating that had tied the Indians to Milwaukee in talks for a possible deal that might include Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher. And all of a sudden, the trail went cold, and now there's nothing. I mean, there's no rumors. There's
right. They come out of the clear blue and they could disappear in a hurry.
Exactly. Wow, close pitch, and it's called a ball. And Ramos is aboard with a walk. 2 on, nobody out. And Jeff Kellogg squeezing the life out of this strike zone.
Cutter off the dish. It wasn't much, if it was anything.
Yeah, you don't know a lot of times where the rumor comes from, but somehow it gets out there, and then somehow it just goes
with
away
the internet
too.
now, you can go out there and post anything you want. People are going to run with it, and it travels quickly.
There were also reports out there that the Indians were very much in the running for one, if not 2 of the Yankees bullpen pieces that were being made available, one being Chapman and the other being Andrew Miller.
I'm sure the Indians in the same boat, like what you said with Washington. They're not going to give up that kind of talent for a rental player.
No.
For a 2-month rental is what it becomes.
And while it looks like the Yankees are going to hold on to Andrew Miller, that made that trade even more difficult because he's under contract for 2 years. So they're going to look for an enormous return if they move him. As if what they got for Chapman wasn't enough. Think twice as much to get Miller.
I think he's going to be right where he is.
2 balls and a strike.
Right now, again, last night Shaw had a tough time throwing strikes coming into the ball game. 6 of his 9 pitches have been out of the zone.
Cody Allen is now up in the Cleveland bullpen. And that's low, 3-1. Double play ball. Kipnis goes to Lindor for 1 back to first. It is a double play. Murphy goes to third. Nicely turned between Kipnis and Lindor.
Well, Taylor made 1 hopper. Get the flip over there. Give them a good flip. They turn it easily. Just what they needed.
Anthony Rendon has walked, struck out, grounded out. Out of play. Brian Shaw walked Wilson Ramos, got the double play ball off the bat of Worth. Only 6 out of 13 pitches so far for strikes, and that missed inside. That's out of play as Anthony Rendon spoiled it to stay alive.
Off the outside edge again. You know, they're able to lay off of this pitch, and it's just off the plate. Brings him into a 2-2 count now.
High fly ball. Left field, Rajay Davis makes the catch. Leadoff double, stranded at third. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Drive down 4. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Carlos Santana back in 2010 made his major league debut against these Washington Nationals. And his first knock and his first blast.
You like those unis, don't you? The big C?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. What are those, the 20s? 1920?
1920.
Yeah.
New pitcher is Sammy Solis, making his 26th appearance of the year. He's got the top of the order. Steven Strasburg went 7 3-hit shutout innings with 7 strikeouts this afternoon.
Yeah, he made it look easy. 7 punchies and 2 walks.
Santana shoots one foul down the left side. Nationals looked like they had the game in hand last night too. It was 5-2 going into the later innings, but the Indians would rally back to win it. And you have a game like last night with the trade deadline this close. and it gets everything cranking up. In fact, this morning, John Morosi, our buddy from Fox Sports, tweeted out that the word in the industry this morning is that the Nationals have intensified their efforts to acquire a reliever after last night's walk-off loss. And their general manager, Mike Rizzo, sits right next to us. He's been walking around that booth like an expectant father today. So whether or not he's got anything in the works or anything imminent is yet to be seen. But Papelbon with his third blown save last night in 22 chances. And Mike Rizzo said, look, our save percentage is still in the top of the league. Bullpen's still top 3 in all of baseball. We've had our issues, but he said, I still think we can get it done. Which he said, one loss isn't going to change how we feel about ourselves. But again, it kind of comes back to, at what price do you want to upset the apple cart and go for it?
True.
This guy looks pretty sharp here. Sammy Solis has come in and punched out the first 2 with ease.
Now, they had some great arms coming out of that bullpen last night. And, you in a situation like that, you go to your closer. You can't give him a bigger, easier opportunity than they did last night. And he just had a tough time. Walked the leadoff man. And that's what got him going. And a couple miscues, one defensively.
Yeah, you can't lay it all at the feet of Papelbon.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't all his fault.
I mean, it started the snowball.
Fair ball. And Lindor will hold it first. 2-out single. Right over the bag at first base. Dusty Baker might want to make a pitching change here, although I can't tell. Does he have another lefty? He's got a right-hander and a lefty up. I saw the left-hander up, and I thought he would swap a lefty for a lefty ordinarily. But he might go to Matt Belisle to face Napoli and then go to a left-hander after that. Even though it's not a nip-and-tuck situation with a 4-run lead. But after last night, Dusty's not taking any chances. Timeout for a pitching change here in the 8th. Two down. Lindor has singled, so he's at first, and Mike Napoli will be the batter. The new pitcher is Matt Belisle.
Third appearance, 173. He's been around a long time, 12 years in the big leagues. The Reds with the Rockies. I think 1 year with the Cardinals and now with Washington. Coming on to try and get the third out of the inning, he'll have to face Mike Napoli.
Missed inside, ball 1. Matt Belisle missed the entire 2001 season early in his career, but it wasn't for Tommy John surgery. He ruptured a disc in his back that required surgery. And he comes on to get Napoli, and that ends the inning.
Indians trail the Nationals 4-0 as the Nats look for the split here, and Steven Strasburg with the start today along with Jensen Lewis. I'm Al Pawlowski. Boy, Strasburg looked good.
Yeah, his movement today was exceptional as advertised, and really, Carlos Carrasco kind of did all he could. A couple of double plays that should have been turned that didn't. A couple of run scoring opportunities for the Indians, man. Their leadoff hitter on a couple innings, couldn't cash him in. So yeah, at the end of the day, you try and take advantage against a first place team, and you can't do it, you're not going to win.
All right, join us for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care Indians Live postgame show. That's coming up immediately following this one. For now, we go back upstairs. Here are Matt and Rick, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Al. 9th inning, and Cody Allen coming on for Cleveland as he will be the 5th Indians pitcher to work here this afternoon. Bottom third of the Nats order due up here.
The Nats today with 6 hits. 4 of those 6 hits extra bases. With the 3 doubles and the home run.
Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball, locked him up, 1 away. Pat O'Brien playing the game. I don't know if it was the play of the game, but it's a double play that didn't get turned. Had it been turned, you play the whole what-if game. Espinosa was the next guy up. He struck out. That would have ended the inning, right?
yeah, at that point in time, that's the way it looked at that point. But that's what gave a 2-0 lead.
12 pitch at bat by Ben Revere that walked to load the bases, and then Trey Turner hit the 2-run single that plated the first 2 runs of the game and gave Strasburg all the cushion he needed the way he pitched. Oh-2 pitch, blew him away. Cody Allen has struck out the first 2 here in the top half of the 9th inning. Well, let's look back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Mazda.
Well, clean game behind Carrasco. That second inning, it wasn't so clean. That's how they got the lead early. Aggressive play early in the count off Strasburg. He was just very good today, man.
He wasn't behind very much.
He was aggressive. He was good. 3 hits, a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts.
He walked the leadoff man Naquin in the 3rd, but they couldn't do anything with it.
And anytime they had a guy in scoring position, he just shut it down.
Ben Revere 0 for 2. Batting with 2 down in the 9th. To left field, Rajay Davis will move over and make the grab. They go 1, 2, 3. Last half of the 9th. Tribe down 4. Into the bottom of the 9th inning, and Trey Turner moved into the leadoff spot to start this series. And he moved into center field for the first time in his big league career, and he has made it happen. 1 for 4 with a run scored last night. He has doubled, singled twice, and he's driven in 3 runs this afternoon.
Yeah, he's had a really good series. Good looking young player.
Yeah, and understandable why Mike Rizzo would be, well, you know, he's not looking to part with that guy.
No, I can understand that too. He looks very good.
Felipe Rivero, he gave up a run and a couple of hits in an inning of relief last night.
I told you about this guy. He gets it up there 95 or so as far as the left-hander goes. He's going to get Ramirez, who has had a very good day. It'll be Ramirez to the right side, Chisenhall, and then Davis, the scheduled hitters. And I already see that Gonzalez is on deck.
Down low. Well, Jose Ramirez has had himself a terrific day. He has singled, doubled, walked, stolen a base. And that was all against Steven Strasburg. He falls behind Rivera 1-2. Pop the high fastball up. That's going to be playable for Zimmerman. 1 down. Well, we're off tomorrow. Back to work on Friday. And since we won't be with you tomorrow, thought I'd share this with you. Peter Gammons, the longtime respected baseball writer. You can see Peter on the MLB Network. He has his own website too, gammonsdaily.com, if you want your fix of daily baseball news. And with all the talk around the trade deadline coming up, Peter had this today. He talked to a National League general manager who told him, quote, "The Indians may have one of the most underrated farm systems in the game. They are taking a lot of calls right now. If a team is selling, they are calling Cleveland." Gammons goes on to say, one way or another, in his estimation, Cleveland is going to make a significant move, knowing they have the power starting pitching that plays in October. So more fodder for the coming days as we wait to see what transpires. Eric Gonzalez getting a pinch hit opportunity here. Lays off. I mean, talk about tough. He hasn't played in a while, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, go get this guy.
But you see, that's the tough thing when you're a young player and you don't have experience at the major league level, to bring a guy off the bench that, you know, really doesn't know how to play that position. You should be playing every day down in the minor leagues. But I mean, when you get an opportunity, you're at the big league level, you have to. Sometimes in the American League, you don't get many opportunities when you're an extra man.
Gonzalez has started, mind you, 1 game. And he's been here since July 14th. So he's been here just about 2 weeks. And he's only started 1 ball game, so his other opportunities have been in pinch hit, pinch run, late defense. But he does a nice job here to draw himself a 1-out walk in the 9th. And it will bring up Rajay Davis. It would appear that should this get into a messy save situation, it would be Blake Trinan that will close for the Nats. He's up in the pen just in case. Rajay fouls it back over the screen. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon. Bouncing ball, is it going to get through? It will. And stumbling around the bag is Gonzalez, and he'll stop at second base.
Well, down in the count, Rajay put it in play, and boy, didn't hit it hard, but placed it perfectly. Look at, they were playing him up the middle, and that ball just enough to get through. That'll go as a base hit. They will have runners at first and second. Now he has the left-hander Tyler Naquin.
And the tying run to the on-deck circle. So lefty-lefty matchup here. Naquin has walked, singled, and struck out this afternoon. Foul right back. There's Blake Trinan if needed. I tell you what, if he doesn't get Naquin, he's going to be out of the game.
Oh yeah, this is his last hitter. I would agree with that.
Strike over the outside corner. So he's made 2 quality pitches to get ahead of Naquin.
There's a good fastball away.
I don't know if that's a strike based on the way Kellogg's been calling most of the afternoon, but it was this time. And Naquin singles into center field. This kid continues to impress. Scoring is Eric Gonzalez. And the Indians are still fighting, scratching, clawing as they will bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th.
How about that? 2 strikes, throws him the breaking ball, and he just pokes it into center field. Kept the hands back. So Rivero gets the first out. He walked the pinch hitter to get it started. It seemed like every time the Indians have picked up a walk in this series, they've been able to cash it in.
Well, it's just like last night, Arch. He came in, he's got that great arm, but he gave up a run on 2 hits last night. He's given up a run on 2 hits so far here today. He won't see how this one finishes. He'll have to watch from the dugout. Blake Trinan will be coming on when we come back. But the tying run will be at the plate with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. The new pitcher is Blake Trinan. Hard throwing sinker baller. Will be on to face Roberto Perez, who came on after Chris Jimenez was pinch hit for in the 7th inning. So this will be his first at bat of the afternoon. And on the year, Perez is just 1 for 21 at the plate. Last 27 games, Tiernan has allowed 2 earned runs in 24 2/3 innings of work.
Well, they do have the tying run coming to the plate here with just 1 out. So keep it rolling. You can find a hole, any way to get on base.
And a strike called. Perez normally pretty good at making a pitcher throw strikes. Not a guy that usually chases a lot of bad balls. And he takes down low 1-1. If Perez reaches, you've got Carlos Santana next. If Perez does anything other than hit into a double play, Santana will still get a chance to hit. You want to try to stay out of that situation at all costs. But remember, Perez does not run all that well. And now he gets a hit, 2-1.
Yeah, they're going to try and get him to hit that ball on the ground. Just be patient. Think the other way. That's his approach anyway, going to right field. If you're going to go that way, hit it in the air.
26,607. On a beautiful sun-splashed afternoon here in Cleveland. Wondering if they'll see another finish like the one we had last night. Instead, it's going to be a game-ending double play. The one thing you couldn't have happen, and that'll put a cap on this one. Washington wins it 4-1 to split the 2-game series. They'll leave town 59-42. The Indians 57-42 on the season. Both teams still lead their respective divisions. Washington atop the NL East. They had a 4-game lead over Miami when the day began. The Indians 5.5 better than Detroit when the day started. Off day tomorrow for Cleveland. Back to work Friday night here at Progressive Field when the Oakland A's come to town. Steven Strasburg, your winner today. He's now 14-1 on the year. Blake Trinan will get the save for the Nationals, and that'll be his first. Losing pitcher, Carlos Carrasco. Tough luck loss. He didn't pitch all that badly, but one odd rough inning cost him dearly today, and he falls to 7-4 on the season. So, not much else to say. It was just one of those games where they didn't generate much against Strasburg, and it was just too big of a deficit to overcome in the last.
It's one of those days, you know, going into it, when you got a guy on the mound like Strasburg, you figure, all right, we got to win this game 2-1, 1-0.
Yeah,
that's the way you approach it, because they had Carrasco on the mound. When they let him get the lead early in that second inning, you know, they were able to chip away and add one on here, add one on there. The Indians made an effort back in the ninth, but it was a little too late, you know. So you come back. That was a good thing they got last night's win. You have an off day tomorrow and get ready for a big weekend series with the Oakland A's, who we have not faced yet.
That's going to wrap our coverage up for this afternoon. Thanks for being with us. We'll greet you again Friday night when the Oakland A's come a-calling. For Rick Manning and Andre Knott, I'm Matt Underwood. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Indians Live with Al and Jensen is coming up next.